It's a massive, massive day for Renault in India. The Duster has come back, and to tell you how important this car is for Renault, they have launched it in a way not seen before in the industry. In a stadium, this is really big. I mean, the scale has been absolutely phenomenal. And talking to me about the Duster, the comeback, and Renault India's new plans, I have with me Fabrice Cambolive, who is the CEO of the Renault brand and, of course, the Chief Growth Officer. Fabrice, congratulations.
Good evening, and,
good to see you again after a long time.
Yeah, and thanks to be here with us.
Yeah, now, you know, just looking at the scale of this launch, I've never seen something like this in a stadium, absolutely packed. I think a clear message that you are serious about India now, after a long time.
Yeah, the clear message is that Renault is India and India is Renault.
Right.
Because we've been here for 20 years. And of course, Duster was one of our icons. And we wanted to come back with a good Duster, with the best Duster we ever made. Best Duster in terms of engine, you see the hybrid. Best Duster in terms of connectivity, you saw Google inside. And of course, a bold design,
right?
Like the Indians.
Yes, but you know, just coming back to the Duster, clearly, you know, there's been a bit of a gap. Clearly, this has been the icon. What are the lessons you've learned from the last Duster? And obviously, there have been a few mistakes made along the way. I mean, clearly, you know, I think it should have had a longer life cycle. But I think, you know, just your comeback right now, I think what's going to be different?
When you are in India, the first lesson you have to learn is the speed.
Right.
Speed. It means you have to come with products which are new every 2 years.
Right.
That's why what we decided to do is to increase the speed, the way we are developing our cars. The second point which is important is that this Duster is made in India by Indians.
Right.
And of course, we are global, we are international, we've got cross-car line all around the world, but we decided just to adjust this Duster to the consumer needs. And what is important here in India now is the growth of hybrid technology, is the SUV growth, which is still very important, and we decided to do that with Indian.
Right.
Donc, what we learn is that, but what we demonstrated in the past also is that we are the best in ride handling, and I can secure you that when you will test drive the car, you will see that we never lost our magic, our recipe to make very good dynamic car.
Right, and you know, coming back to, let's say you said launch a model every 2 years. Is that something we can now expect? Because clearly you need the models, and as you said, you know, there weren't enough models for a long time. So just want to get your sense on the investment. You know, we've already invested in the Duster and a derivative 7-seater. What's beyond that? I mean, are we going to see a lot more investment now coming
I think it's important to be present not only each 2 years, but every year with new models is very important. How we can achieve that within Renault brand now is because we increase a lot the speed of our development, because we are moving out of Europe with big synergies between regions. India is part of a global network with Latin America, with Turkey, with Morocco, with Korea, which enable us to gain traction, to gain speed. That's why I can tell you that you will have a lot of novelties in the coming 2 years in India.
Right, so
and not only the Duster.
Right, so obviously other segments, I mean, I would imagine that with the new taxes, you might have realized there's a sub 4 meter still a very important segment. You have the Kiger over there, but clearly, do you think you need a more Duster-like body style in that segment? Because that really is the magic for you all, isn't it?
I think this is a good suggestion. We will work on that.
Right.
You have all a lot of information, and you are one of the greatest journalists in India regarding automotive, and I take your suggestion.
So
that's a very fair comment.
That means you are working on it.
I say that's a very fair comment.
Right, okay, fine. And just one, you know, talking on the hybrid technology, this again was a surprise. So clearly you are working with Horse, and you know, your let's say strategy to outsource it from, let's say, another company altogether. How does this work? And do you think there'll need to be some localization of this powertrain going forward?
I think you have each time to adjust the model in the region when you are. But now we don't have global car in the world, but we have global cross-car line strategy and direction. One of the direction is, of course, electrification. And when the capacity to work with us is enabling us to reach more scale and to be able to decrease the cost of this technology, because at the end, the hybrid tomorrow will replace the diesel. And if we want to do that, we have to do that at the right price.
Right. So it will be at a good price.
It will be at a very competitive price, but more than that, the level of consumption on this car is amazing.
Right. And just one last thing. Obviously, you're doing hybrid for your cafe targets, which are going up. Cafe in India is booming. EVs are also part of the mix. But
I think,
what is your strategy on EV? Because you've not announced anything on EVs yet. So
no.
clearly, seems to be your. Is there something in the pipeline for that as well?
We didn't announce because EV now in India is more or less 5% of the market. We see that hybrid is going up. We see that still there are traditional engines which are very important, diesel, CNG and so on. I think, of course, we have to come with EV, but we'll announce that in due time.
So what you're saying is your focus is hybrid first, EV later?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And not only hybrid, because as you know, this car with the 1.3 will be one of the best in terms of torque and power. Which is very important also.
And just going forward in terms of, let's say, what are your kind of ambitions or targets or goals? I mean, right now, very small volumes.
I would say now we are around 1% of the market, but with a big park of cars, like Duster, of course, but not only. Triber and Kiger made a great career. Our objective now is to gain traction in terms of renewal. And I would say that between 3 and 5% share of market should be a good target for us. But this is not
by the end of the decade, or
I would say this is not a target by itself. It will be a result if we are doing our job great.
Right.
Great with now a lot of new cars coming.
Right. And just last thing, entry level Kwid. Obviously, a lot of OEMs are not looking at that segment. It's obviously not growing. Very difficult to make money there. What is the status on Kwid? Obviously, there'll be no further development on it, but you keep it going,
I think Kwid is a kind of know-how from us in the market, and for me, we have to go on with Kwid.
Right, so
clearly.
There is some more life left in the Kwid for you. So you will be doing some more development on it.
Yes.
Right, and Triber, obviously the MPV segment.
And Triber is a very strategic positioning. Having 7 seats within 4 meters is something quite unique in India, and we want to keep this recipe. Right. And to keep for a long time, of course.
And just now there have been reports saying that and there have been reports saying that the EU and India have struck a deal for the FTA.
That's a great news. That's a great news.
So how would that impact Renault, and would you be looking at a lot of CBUs then to kind of build a halo on this?
I think the impact will be in both directions, which is very good. Because we have a few countries in the world where we can mix local production with import, and that's exactly the place where we have the best share of market and the best performance. It means for me, this announcement, which should be validated in the coming days, is a great news and will work on both directions, which is good because, of course, the Indian market is growing so much with a very good level of competitiveness. This will be interesting for Europe, and Europe will be also interested bringing additional cars into our lineup.
And maybe some small volume CBUs also possible?
Yeah, we can see. I would say that what is really interesting is to have the best CBU in terms of competitiveness. It means CBU should come or could come not only for Europe but also for some other regions.
Congrats, Fabrice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
With
Our
us.
pleasure. Yeah.